Hud's House. You're listening to the Hud's House Podcast with E. Hud on the Thinking Out Loud Network.
Yo. This is your boy E. Hud. Welcome to the Hud's House Podcast. You are officially in the house. We got some special people in here, my brothers. You may have known them from Crosstalk Radio Podcasts. I have in the building today my man Steph Swig and Big Pudge. Y'all give it up. Y'all welcome to the house. Y'all in the house officially.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you having us, dude.
Man, I had to. This is my big brother Steph Swig. I've known him for eons and eons.
Yeah. We go way back.
Way back. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do this episode, man. One, to speak about your podcast.
Okay.
Shed light on what y'all do, you know, how y'all do what y'all do, you know what I'm saying? Just you know, professionally respecting what y'all do.
Right.
And looking up to you doing the podcast. I know how it started.
Yeah,
I know.
Both
definitely. And I got my boy Big Pudge out here, the lyrical miracle, hypothetical, statical. You know what I'm saying?
We got a fan, Pudge.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel honored,
Big Pudge, you know what I'm saying? And that's one. And two, to shed a light on the situation that's going on with my boy Pudge. I'm going to let him get into that real shortly, you know what I'm saying? So we can get together and support. You can let us know how we can support. But I don't want to lead too far ahead. I want to start a little light. You know what I mean, and then we get into the heavier base of what we came here to talk about. So Steph Swig, tell them how I inspired.
How you inspired?
Tell them how I inspired.
How you inspired?
I'm joking. Yeah.
Well, actually, I worked on radio for a little while before I did the podcast, and I actually never thought about doing a podcast. And then one day, E. Hud called me up, asking me how to do a podcast. And at that moment, it's like when he asked me about it, I'm like, you know what, that's what I'm supposed to do next.
Right.
And so, funny thing is, I didn't even think I had any information to give him. They're right about like, I know somebody do a podcast. I gave him the information.
Right.
And then God put it in my heart to do my own podcast.
Yeah.
And it's like everything snowballed from there. It's like I had to call Pudge up because the podcast is going to be about stuff people don't normally talk about. So I'm always outside the box with everything I do.
Out the box.
Anything that people don't want to talk about, especially when it comes to church,
Let's
I
talk
want to
about
talk.
it.
That's how I always do.
Yeah.
So I called Pudge up and I told him about the idea. He liked the idea, and we came up with the title of the show, which was called Crosstalk. We came up with that together, right?
Dope.
Like so came up with Crosstalk, and then it's like between him and I, we collaborated on making everything happen. Like the idea of the show was from me, but the logo came from him, and he had a connection. He came up with the logo.
Yeah.
So then he came up with the theme song, which was really dope.
That was dope too. Yeah. It's like 4 minutes, but it's dope.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Well, we got a different one now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a minute and a half.
Yeah. We got
I heard everybody's
Yeah.
comment about the 4-minute intro.
We addressed it. We said this is Crosstalk. This is how we do it on Crosstalk.
That's how we do it.
We outside the box.
You didn't care.
Yeah.
You didn't care.
Yeah, we didn't care. We wanted to get everything because the first song, Pudge is explaining it, what the show's about. He does a perfect job.
It was dope.
Then I come in at the end, I explain it from people who didn't hear his version of it. They hear me explain it.
That's really the bulk of the song is Steph Swig.
It really is.
It's the bulk of everything.
It really is.
Big Pudge round like a minute and a half. And 3 minutes is Steph. Talking about it. You know what I mean? But now it's dope. It's dope.
That's the bulk of everything. Everybody says I'm a talker.
No doubt.
He proves himself on the song.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But the next version of the song, believe it or not, I cut my part down.
Mm-hmm.
I got like two sentences on the song,
Okay.
and that's it.
And it works.
Yeah, it works. I like the intro on the next song. I mean, both songs are dope, but Pudge felt like since it's season 2, we had to step it up a little differently. And so the next song is more appreciative to our fans, listeners, and kind of let people know we got listeners across seas and Japan and stuff like that. So the show was dope. We enjoy. We love any topic. We really are. We're really in tune with our listeners that we want to hear the feedback from them as far as what they want us to talk about. We talk about our own topics too, but a lot of times we get topics from our fans. People tell you they want to hear something, and they're going to listen to the show.
Absolutely. That's true.
And plus, there's a lot of stuff that's not being communicated between the church and the people. So we fill in that gap right there. There's a lot of stuff in church that don't make sense sometimes. And me and Pudge, we raw and real with it all day, every day. So I love it. The more controversial, man, and the less people talk about it, the more we talk about it. We don't want to get on every topic that everybody's talking about. Like we just actually talk about Kaepernick and stuff like that.
Right.
Everybody's talking about that. So we don't typically go into those lines.
Because what more narrative could be added to that? You know what I mean? So
We already talked about the we had an episode where we was talking about like bending the knee. I think there's been episodes where we addressed the issue way back when it first became.
Maybe I can't remember.
It wasn't a whole show about it, but it's like it's what we want to talk about what nobody else is talking about.
Or what they're scared to talk about.
Exactly. We ain't scared to talk about any topic.
Or things that's lightly talked about, but pretty much the bulk of it's been brushed on the
yeah. Plus, y'all got goons, so y'all ain't scared about nothing.
Nah.
They got goons on payroll. Now I'm just joking. I'm joking. Yo, for people that think that, I just want to do a podcast and think it's real easy to do. What's some of the challenges?
Getting started.
Yeah.
Getting started, hands down, was getting started. I mean, the logo, the flyer. The title, that was kind of easy, but getting it actually set to find, the recording place, the hosting place, and getting it on the iTunes and Amazon and stuff like that. I mean, tune in. The thing was, like, I thought I could just record a podcast and just send it right to them, but no, you have to have like a hosting company. Ours we chose Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout, yeah, I know about Buzzsprout.
Or you can, like you do, you can put it on the website.
Absolutely.
But we wanted to be able to get on iTunes and tune in and stuff like that. And that was a challenge.
Right.
After you got past that, it was snowball from there.
Yeah.
Just the only other challenge is life getting in the way.
Yeah, that's
things happen.
Absolutely.
Scheduling.
Like Steph is the mind master of making sure we stay on point. It truly is. But I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We kind of make each other mesh because it's like as soon as we get done the show, I'm like, so what's the next one? You're like, what's next week? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's schedule next week now.
Yeah.
And it's because we have a lot going on. It's just like life. Yeah. It's one of the things where like the one thing that I love about our connection is that if I ain't feeling something, he ain't feeling something. It's always at the same time.
Yeah.
Like we both felt like at the same time we needed to go ahead and take this little 2-month little break. But it was at the same, like I felt it, didn't say nothing to him. He felt it, and he finally said something to me.
But it was what y'all were both feeling at the same time.
I was trying to push past how I was feeling that I hadn't scheduled it anyway. Then things that kept on falling through, so I hit him up like, I'm not really, let's just take a break, because I'm not really feeling this. I'm like, me too. But it always works out. Every time we be holding off, we have a scheduled topic or something like, you know what, man? We ain't feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, I ain't feeling it, except for one time, we've always been on the same page with the same time.
Man. Are you going to pull this back
out?
Yeah,
I'm going to pull it back out.
He ain't going to let this go.
No, we want to know.
So we had a History of Valentine's Day episode. I want to talk about History of Valentine's Day because with any holiday, especially ones we celebrate now, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, all included, they all have paganistic origins or origins that people don't really know about. It's more so what you don't see.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get Pudge on board with it. He was not. So I had to do like almost a PowerPoint presentation just to get him on board. I really it was like debating him through text, but I had like long dissertation versus text. I was like, dude. He said, "Why? I don't care about Valentine's." Like, well, you know, but our listeners do.
Right.
They didn't know. I had to go back and forth, but he's finally on board. As soon as he opened the book to realize what he got, to find out his history part of it.
Yeah.
He was all on board. Then so like,
you're a historian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how hard it is to separate what you like from what you record. And that's whack, or I don't like how that sound. But the listener may love it, or vice versa. How hard is it to separate topics? And
for me, it's not that hard. For him, it's kind of hard sometimes. For me, it's not. Sometimes I've had topics that I didn't care to do, but I always try to look at it. I notice that. Me and Pudge have these conversations all the time, but just because we have them, people don't hear them. So I'm always able to put that behind me because there's some episodes we didn't want to do. But I think the worst one. I think that I didn't want to do. Honestly, some ones we typically don't want to do.
Because the ones that come out real good.
Yeah, like the two of them I remember specifically was one is stating what was it? The difference between men and women pastors. Like talking about how men in church are viewed differently when they have a lot of how they have sex with people outside, certain things like that. Double standard for men and women, and how it's handled in the church. I didn't care about that topic at all. But I felt it was necessary, and then that ended up being one of our most popular shows in the beginning, in our season 1. And then another one was abortion, because me and Pudge like, abortion, we didn't want not to do it, but like, everybody talks about abortion, but I felt led to do it. And we did it, and we ended up learning a lot of stuff, and we got all emotional during the show.
You could hear in that show, like we had like choke throat moments. Like 5 seconds of pausing after reading some of the things that happens, the procedures and whatnot. So.
And another one Pudge came up with was soul ties. I didn't want to do it at all. I want to read. I felt like I was so unprepared to do it. Like I want to read a book about soul ties, but I know what soul ties are. But I feel like I want to read a little bit more. And I'm like, you know what? Pudge like, well, and I thought about like I always challenge him on shows. There's been shows that he came to the table, didn't even know the topic was.
Right.
Like, you know what? I'll take the challenge. I'll take the hit this
time. You winging it?
Yeah. So we went in, and it ended up being a great show.
Right.
Like it was so deep that Pudge even had to leave. Like, I got some stuff I got to take care of after the show. And then that's probably our most response. The show we had the most response from the listeners. Like we had people text. I had people text me, Pudge, people texting him things for the show, and ask us like, "Yo, thank you for that show because I got soul ties. How do you get rid of them? All kinds of stuff." So it was a great, very potent show. To this day, I think that's the most potent show.
Yeah, still popular. A lot of people was like, "Okay, how?" I had folks hit me up talking about how do you pray a soul tie off?
Right.
Like, asking because it was deep. You know what I'm saying? It was real deep. And in the midst of the show, like you can hear, I'm like, "Man, I got some stuff."
And my kids, they listen to the show a lot of times. So they listen to that one, and by the symptoms we described, they knew they could discern people that they knew in their personal lives that had soul ties. So it became a show that they shared.
Wow, that you can share it. Wow, that's big.
Same thing with me. I didn't realize I had dealt with certain soul ties to after. Like, yo, that's what was going on in that situation.
Right.
So it was a really good show. So a lot of times, even though we do the shows, it's not just for us. Sometimes it's actually for especially
for you as well.
Especially when God gives us a show like, dang, okay, I need that too.
Yeah.
So it's a great show. But
so go ahead, bud.
No, I was gonna say that it's not hard to do a show that you don't want to do because, like I said, Steph mainly always got to remind me more so that it's not about, you know what I'm saying, what it is that, even though we know the rest of the world needs to hear. So I was always able to eventually comply. The Valentine's Day joint. Eventually. I'm being honest. Eventually comply. You know what I'm saying? But the Valentine's Day joint, I was bucking. Like I was.
It was. I was thinking, what is the problem?
I'm like, what's the problem? It's stupid. We spent all this time talking about Valentine's Day. Like, what's the meaning? You know what I'm saying?
A whole podcast.
Right, a whole podcast about folks getting together, half in love, part time in love, and it's sad because I felt I had to apologize to him and everything because when he gave me the whole script he normally get, it's not about this other people in here, and I'm like, he right, but I don't want to. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And
I ain't feeling it.
I feeling it, and it is sad because when he sent me certain names, and I went and looked it up and found out that it was actual factual history to the day.
It switched a little bit.
Dude, I got so excited. I got mad excited. Yo, like I showed up like, all right, so what people can't see is Steph is like the class nerd. He was like the cat in class. He was always had everything ready. Right. Always had his homework. Everything ready. He's sitting there waiting for the teacher to show up. So this is how he does when we record. So he go every time he got his little crosstalk notebook. You know what I'm saying?
Still mad. He's still mad about the crosstalk notebook.
Wait, it's an actual book?
It's a notebook. It has a crosstalk logo on it.
Wow.
He did all that. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like the extra kid.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
So he every week he comes and sit down with his little notebooks, extra notes. Like he's just all ready. I came like that on the Valentine's Day show.
Wow, prepared. Yeah.
Like super prepared. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, dude, like, did you know this? Did you know that? And he looking at me like, dude, really?
Yeah.
Where did you put the shirt on? And I had to beg if I could get you.
Wow.
Now you just amped about it, but I'm like,
hey man, it works, man. And it seems like what's dope about you all and the chemistry and the show and everything, which I have had the pleasure to be on. Crosstalk, you know what I mean, twice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sir, that's right.
Is organic. Everything with y'all seems so organic. It don't seem forced. It don't, like coerced. It's like it's organic. You know, this is the topic we're gonna go in. We're gonna do it, and I think it makes for a better podcast.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's true. It's the same when we talk to each other with the mics off. Like we talk for about an hour before the show, and it's just like this back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I like to throw little jabs at him during the show. It's like every time he just told me to shut up on the air. Like, shut up, man.
Because we tell him all the time.
Yo. So how did y'all meet?
Man,
how did y'all meet?
We pre-met before we met.
Yeah, the thing was, we talked on Facebook before, but the thing was, we run in the same circles. Like he hang out with Flo and Promise and stuff like that. So these people have been at my cookouts for years, and every time they was at my cookouts, they tell me I need to connect with Soul Cafe or connect with Yusuf. It's annoying the crap out of me. then I started looking at pictures of him on Facebook. I'm thinking, taking pictures with Obi, taking pictures with Promise, taking pictures with DJ Q and Rick Flo. Like I know these people I know personally, I haven't met.
Yeah.
And so,
like, yeah, attitude about it.
Yeah, like I haven't met this dude. Like, how come we haven't met? Like, I'm surprised that we haven't met. Like, we run in the same circles.
Right.
And so I hit him up. I just called him up one day and chatted with him. We talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
wow.
it was. I'm gonna give you more detail.
You talking about the Facebook thing?
Yeah. But prior to that, I used to do a little nightclub thing called Soul Cafe ATL.
Yeah.
So he had this club Sanctuary.
Right.
So all those people were in those two circles. So every time somebody would come to Soul Cafe, they'd be like, "Yo, man, you got to check out the Sanctuary. You got to get with the owner." You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got a lot in common. So I've been hearing this for like 2, 3.
Yeah.
09 was when I started hearing about it.
Wow.
We didn't meet till 2012.
2012.
So we've been hearing about each other for years. And then I put a picture up on Facebook. It was a cassette tape, and it was a D Nice.
Okay,
D Nice old cassette tape, and I was like, digging in the crates. Who remember this?
Yeah, DITC.
So right. So he responded, and that's when I knew his, because see, I'm looking for him. I searched him out, but I couldn't find his actual name. Sanctuary was on everything. So I'm like, when I think Promise when told me his name was Steph Gibbs, and I'm like, okay, dang, this dude already my friend. So we chopped it up a little bit on the tape thing, but it was when I put a picture up of this huge spider outside of my window. You know what I'm saying? Like, he actually gave like details on the actual spider and whatnot. So then he actually wound up hitting me up. I was like, yo, dude, man, I've been hearing about you for years. You know what I'm saying? I gotta meet you.
Wow.
So we called each other and talked for like 2-3 hours, and then, not even knowing it, 2 days later, we both showed up at Rick Flo's music video shoot.
It was in the video together. Gonna do it.
Do it. Oh wow. Yeah.
And we showed up at that. And when we showed up, I'm like, we had scheduled to meet each other the following week at Rick Flo's birthday party.
And y'all just happened to meet.
Show up because we're in the same circles.
And come to find out, like, we've been at same events, never met each other, because we both at Obi's album release party.
Yeah, I didn't know he was there.
And then I was seeing pictures of events that I was supposed to be at, but I couldn't make it. He taking pictures with the team, my team members, Brandy, her kid. I was like, yo, look at Pudge way back to like that.
Right.
Like, we're so close each time, but we never met until like I said, 2012. Yeah.
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
This is a small world, man. Like, I remember seeing a picture of you on Facebook before I even met you, because I know your brother.
You do?
Yeah,
I know your brother.
I know your brother. We used to do, we did a couple events where we had the same spot.
Exactly. See, I got you on camera, bro.
How?
2009.
Really?
I follow my brother everywhere. Tribal Levi.
Yeah.
There's an event where y'all was at a church,
right,
and you got up and did your thing before they did.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, I actually been listening to your music since 09.
That's when you talk. That's crazy to me.
Look, did you use the Mouthpiece and Grizzly?
3HP.
3HP.
Yeah.
You used to be with them.
I used to not
hang with some of them.
I was hang with them. I would be around Troy and Double.
Right. So I remember seeing you a lot because I used to follow Double music all the time.
Got you.
Mouthpiece and Double. When I first started listening to hip hop.
That's what's it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and I used to see you with them all the time. The first time I heard you was when you was at an event with my brother and them. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. I didn't even see. I saw you. That's crazy, yo. This is wild. Your brother had a picture on Facebook, and it was you, him, your pops.
I think I know a picture.
Yeah, I think y'all was in the living room or something like that, and I saw the picture, and it didn't click to me. And I saw you again. I said, "Yo, this dude look mad familiar. I know this guy from somewhere. I know." And I always heard the name Pudge.
Yeah,
right.
And I said, yo, this dude look familiar to me, man. And when I came and do the podcast, that's when everything clicked. I said, oh, okay. Right. 6 degrees of separation, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody knows somebody that knows something. Exactly.
Exactly. Full circle.
Absolutely. So I just want to give a little, want you to give a little background where you from, Steph? And then we're gonna go to Pudge, and you know what I'm saying. Then maybe we can get a little idea of the madness that is Steph Swig.
I'm originally from Bridgeport, Connecticut. And I'm
Bridgeport?
very proud of that. Same city Double come from.
Wow.
That's a double real quick.
WATL. What's up?
Moved to Atlanta a minute ago, back in '93. Been here ever since. So that's basically where I'm from, man.
Wow. Why Atlanta?
My mom moved here.
Simple.
So it was a divine plan, actually, but you never know that.
Absolutely, you never know that. That's true.
Moved down here, got married, had kids, founded the sanctuary. Everything happened for me when we got down here. You know what I mean? Bridgeport is different. Like, people can't really tell. Like, when you hear Connecticut, you always think of the white, ritzy neighborhoods. But
Bridgeport is for real.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's a Biggie called it Bridgeport, New York.
Yeah.
That's what Biggie called it. He
sure
called
did.
it Bridgeport, New York, man. Bridgeport is no joke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Steph, where you from, Steph?
Bridgeport.
Not Steph. Not Steph.
Steph, answer him.
Yeah.
Bridgeport. I just said Bridgeport. Pudge.
And it's funny because he said Bridgeport.
Like, dude, we just had this conversation. I'm thinking, okay, did you not catch that?
So, look, I can't wait till we can do this when I show you to get a camera because, he has where I'm from, and I just so happen to have the right hat on.
There we go.
So I'm doing this for the camera, people who
can see it.
The front, I got to take my drawing on the front. Camden, New Jersey, baby.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Let them know.
That's that. I'm not proud of it, but
New Jerusalem.
Yeah, it was the murder capital for 25 years. That's nothing to boast about. You know what I'm saying? But people think when you hit Camden, they think Camden, South Carolina.
No, I think of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's the first thing when I hear Camden, that's the first thing I think about.
Yeah, true.
Maybe. I didn't even know there was a Camden. What?
Camden, South Carolina.
I didn't even know that.
Even then, I
didn't know that.
one person got my call and was like, "Is that Camden, South Carolina?"
Wow.
I was like, nah, just Google Camden.
Camden. I guarantee you Google Camden, the first
You're gonna
place
be
to
scared
come
of
up is Jersey.
Yeah.
Without a hand down. Now, Jersey was rough.
Yeah.
Jersey was rough.
Yeah.
How do you escape that?
My mom's.
Wow.
I mean, my mom was is still to this day that woman. That's that praying. Even though we grew up like in bad neighborhood. She had us in church every Wednesday. She had us in church every Sunday. I was running the streets all during the week, but I knew what it was on
Sundays, yeah.
So it's like, like Steph said earlier, that stuff you don't know. It keep you grounded, kind of, sort of. You think you wild, but you're not really.
Right.
Mom Dukes, man, when crack hit, she was like, "That's a rat." Camden was already bad before crack, but when crack came, I mean, my street was a zombie.
Yo, when did crack really hit?
85.
Now, it didn't affect me, bro. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, right? Yeah. And it didn't really. I remember seeing the vials, the crack vials of different colors. I remember seeing them on the street, but it didn't really affect me. And mind you, in 85, 86, that was my starting point in the city. You know what I'm saying? In New York. You know what I mean? Because I was born in Jamaica, but I came here and I came to New York in 85, 86. Like hip hop was really just getting ready to really start rocking, and so the crack epidemic was mid 80s, early 80s, mid 80s, but it never really affected me. How was it?
Command, I don't know, and I could reference into this for people who don't know. Camden in 85 was the Wire before the Wire was
Wow.
Like if you want to think about what Camden was when crack hit, it was the Wire.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, exact replica.
That's crazy.
Zombies all over the place.
That's crazy.
Back then, we had cats called Vice. You know what I'm saying? They was like a special SWAT team. But they had cats like, I never sold dope. I wasn't no dope boy. I was just kind of like, the lookout dude. So they put me on the roof, you know what I'm saying, with a little walkie-talkie. And soon, the roof, my house is the second house to the corner. On all four corners, there's dope boys on all four corners. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But you got to think, it's almost like somebody is handing out a bunch of candy to kids, you know what I'm saying? And all it costs is a penny, like penny candy.
Yeah.
So this is how crack is to everybody in the neighborhood. So it's enough money to make for dope boys to be on all four corners and everybody eating.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So they had me on the roof, and so on the roof you could see
everything.
All
yeah, you can see everything. Yeah.
So as soon as you see Vice coming down the street, you just get on the walkie-talkie, holler, Billy up. That was the code. You know what I'm saying? And they throw they dope up under the sewer and stand there. They don't run. They don't leave. They stand right there. Lock them up within an hour. The block is back hot. Wow. I mean, within like some of a movie, like some of a movie, it's like legit within the hour. I mean, hour it'd be slow for an hour after that. They start coming back, and it's back. My mom's was when you got a praying mother. Literally, they respected my mom so much. You know what I'm saying? Because of her anointing, that like literally the dope boys would have like cones and chairs in her parking spot. Because one day she was leaving, taking us to Bible study. And a little station wagon, and it's one of the dope boys that stuff they hold all their stash in her tailpipe. So when we was leaving, he was chasing her down, like you know what I'm saying, because she pulling off, she got his stash in there. So she pulled over, and he was like, you got my drawers in your car. Why he say that? Why he say that to my mom's? My mom, she was that one when she got out. Now she from like Southwest Philly, so it was a little bit of ghetto and Jesus all in one.
Right. No smoke, you don't want it.
And then it went to, you don't want me to pray, against, against, what God had. I mean, all I know is after that one specific conversation, every day she came home, they had her parking spot clear.
Wow.
Up top, it's hard to find a parking spot.
Of course. Yeah. Circle a block for an hour looking for a spot. Yeah.
Soon as she come outside, if cats are sitting on her car, get off her car, Miss Brown coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she
love it.
Her anointing is what got her the respect of the neighborhood. So, but she was just like, this is not the life that I want for my kids to have because it's only getting worse. I mean, we was protected by a gang on our block called Black Posse. So you could not just come strolling on our block thinking you're going to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's real territorial. You know what I'm saying? So, but my mom was like, this is not the life. So one of my uncle had already moved down here. So he was telling her how nice, peaceful, quiet it is. I mean, the cost of living is like half.
Yeah, it was crazy back then.
Yeah, so back then, I mean, we was in a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom apartment. My mom was paying like four and some change. You know what I'm saying?
Living the best life.
Right. Yeah. So it's like coming from there to here was a huge
night and day, man.
Yeah, night and day. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole lot of night and day. But unfortunately, everybody from the A, like we moved over there by like 2nd Ave in Glenwood, 2nd Ave Flat Show. So back in '88.
Oh wow!
It's like Atlanta child murders was just ended. So we moved from one bad
to another level of bad
to a southern version. You know what I'm saying? It was so, but like I said, I mean, I constantly coming from Little Vietnam, like Atlanta was like stupid slow for me. Even what they call hot wasn't hot to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it was a Mom Dukes. I mean, God kept us. You know what I'm saying.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I remember I came down here, man, and I moved here in 2002, and I just thought, I had my fronts in at Tim's and, chain swinging, I'm from New York, and didn't know nothing about Atlanta like that, man. And we went down to Spring Street. There was a club. I forgot the name of the club on Spring Street, man, and we parked in the parking lot right by the Varsity.
Okay.
Right? We parked in the parking lot. I'm green, man. I've been out here a couple months.
Yeah.
My man, he parked and he's kicking it to a shorty. You know what I mean? In the parking lot. We about to walk down to the club and I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm checking my gear, making sure my gear's straight, I went down, tied my laces. I remember I had a retro Atlanta Hawks jersey on.
Yeah.
And I had my fronts on, my Air Forces, tying my lace. I picked my head up to a gun, bro. I picked my head up and dudes, a gun to me, bang! Put it to my stomach and say, yo, I will blow you away and leave here. He said, I need your wallet. He said, I need your wallet. I said, yo, he said, yo, call your man over here. I said, what? He said, yo, I will blow you away, bro. He said, call your man over here. I said, yo! He came over there, he got both of our wallets, bro, and he boogied. You know what I'm saying? He was out. That was my introduction to Atlanta. My real introduction to Atlanta, But just to show how ignorant I was in the same parking lot going to the same club the following week. I ain't didn't learn my lesson at all, man. I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? Because previously I came down here on vacation with one of my homegirls, and we was down by 5 points. That's when 5 points was 5 points.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had on some Huaraches. And you know, I'm from New York. We out shopping. I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
I seen about 5-6 dudes. And I'm walking with her, man, and she about 110 pounds soaking wet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with her. We got bags in our hands. Like, yo, we got them shoes. You know, in New York, folks trying to talk to you about your shoes. It's about to go down. So, you know what I'm saying? So I gave her the bags like, yo, I'm about to get tossed. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get tossed to spend all this money. I'm about to get tossed. But they really just want to know where I got the shoes from. I was like, yo, thank you. Jesus. I didn't feel like getting slapped up around here. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, that's dope, man, that your mom had the foresight to come and move y'all down here. And, you know, you move, cause I moved here because of my mom. You moved here because of your mom.
All our moms brought us down, apparently.
Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Thank God for moms.
Thank God for moms, yo. Big it up for moms, yo. One time. Yo, I need everybody to check out the podcast, www.thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. That's www.thinkingoutloudnetwork.com, or follow us on social media at Thinking Out Loud Network, or follow the podcast at Hud's House Podcast on Instagram. Check it out. We here with Steph, Swig, and Big Pudge, you know what I'm saying, from Crosstalk Radio, you know what I mean? So I wanted to share a little bit, or I want you actually, Pudge, to share a little bit life's challenges, hitting us, and you know, we want to do our podcast, we want to do our music, we want to do our thing, but real life sometimes happen, you know.
That comes first. Life comes first.
It comes first. It really does. It really does. You know what I mean? Just before you go into it, briefly, you know, I remember my mom had got sick, real sick, you know, and at the time, music just didn't mean nothing to me. It didn't mean anything to me. Going to these events and being in the studio didn't mean nothing to me. First of all, I was a husband. I had babies. I had no job. You know, I was driving a beat-up Navigator all the way to Alpharetta to work at American Girl at North Point Mall. Wow. So I was working in a doll store as a... why y'all laughing though?
I'm sorry.
Why y'all laughing?
Your story is worse and worse.
He made it worse because I was going to wait till the show was over to ask, what is American Girl? Because I was totally lost what American Girl was.
Me too.
I thought it was a lingerie shop at first.
I'm keeping it a buck. I'm keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? But I wasn't really I was kind of working. I was loss prevention. Alright, so I was loss prevention, but I was working at, you know, anybody know anything about American Girl? Anyway, whatever, man.
Keep going.
But you know, but I'm coming from Union City all the way to Alpharetta. So I'm pretty much making gas money.
Yeah, that's it.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, my mom was living in my living room in a hospital bed because she had lost the mobility to walk and the ability to talk because of strokes. You understand what I'm saying? So my wife gave up everything to take care of my mother. She had to bathe her, feed her, change her. This is our life. I had a walkie-talkie by the side of my bed where my mom, before she completely lost her speech, she would chirp and let us know she got to use the bathroom. So I had to come downstairs and get her in the wheelchair, wheel her to the bathroom, pick her up out of the wheelchair, put her on the toilet. I had to clean, bathe, wipe my mom. All this was going on. You dig what I'm saying? And then if she had to go to the doctor, that's getting her up, cleaning her, bathing her, getting the wheelchair down the steps, into the car, fold up the wheelchair, put in the trunk of the car, do the same thing, get to the doctor, the same time to come back home. So all this was going on, and no job, losing the car, foreclosed letters, all these things was going on. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it means like to have a situation where, yo, none of that matters.
Yeah.
I got real life issues going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I commend y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand, your passion to do this, but still have to navigate through the issues. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So she ultimately died. You know what I'm saying? In 2013, we had to send her back to New York to get the treatment because Atlanta healthcare was not the move. You dig what I'm saying? So, yes, sir. But to God be the glory, man. So I segue that to say you've had some issues, you and your family, some real life issues hitting your home, your household. If you can, you don't have to go all the way into it, but just a little bit about it, and then tell us how we can help, man, and bring light to it, yo.
All right, long story short, because it's not something easy to talk about. I kind of, I don't hate talking about it because I got to be my son's voice. November 14th, 2016, he was arrested. He's been in jail ever since. He just got sentenced to 35 years a month ago and the charges, the original charges were statutory rape. So what people don't know, the definition of statutory rape is if a 15-year-old, whether male or female, decides to have sex with a 17-year-old and don't get permission from their parents, even though the woman or the girl wants to, it's a charge. It's an offense because they didn't get permission from their parents to go have sex, even though they wanted to. That was his original charge, which only holds whatever the fine is, but the jail time was only 12 months. So they changed his charge right at like the 11th month to statutory rape and statutory. Not statutory, but aggravated rape and aggravated sodomy, which both charges is a minimum of 25 years. So, long story short, he's most definitely innocent. All his entire, any lawyer, pretty much every attorney that we've had look at the case says he should have never lost the case. So it's a huge thing. We had a public defender. Most people know the issues when you got public defenders. There's a 98% chance you're gonna lose. So it's one of the things now where the woman or the girl, she's actually she recanted her statement before going to court. The DA's office actually pressured her into testifying, telling her original story, telling her that she can get arrested for lying originally, and then when she actually testified and then got off the stand and went back to the friends, because if you just go to how to help is dang, I don't want to say I'm skipping. But I'll give you the information to the page you can go to that has the videos. Actually, I go into detail about the whole story. So you'll actually understand. It was friends. They were all friends, about 6, 7 of them, teenagers. All friends that have been friends for years at this point. So after she got finished testifying, she went back to the friends and felt like horrible because she knew she lied on the stand. But by this point, the DA's was like, if you change your story before his sentencing, you're going to go to prison for perjury. So, it was all set up for him to lose. I felt like I was living something off Law and Order. My phones have been tapped. The first video I put out telling my son's story, within 17 hours, probably detectives knocking on my mom's door, looking for me. Supposedly, I had said something on the phone with my son that concerned Henry County. The judge that originally had the trial recused himself from the case. Other 2 judges in Henry County didn't want to touch the case. Like, all that is weird. None of that makes sense when this is a simple rape case. And if he's really guilty, there's no reason to go through all this other stuff. So, in a nutshell, it's to the point where now, as a father, I got 4 kids and he was my first. So he got snatched up from me at 17. I didn't get finished raising him. And it's it's hard. And then you still feel guilty for moving on with your life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a part of you that kind of feels like you ain't supposed to. And it's because right now you can't do anything about where
it is.
And then I just talked to his mother today, and she got a letter from him, and he told her that my son is not the one that's fearful. He's just not. He's one of them type of dudes where he don't like to fight, but if you present one, he gonna do it. He ain't gonna back down from a fight at all. But it's the first time, my son has said he's fearful because of his charges in prison. He's like, prison is not the count.
Yeah.
He's like, it's different, and he's just fearful. So, that hit me like a ton of bricks today. Her telling me that. So it's like I'm trying to look at the positive and everything, and I got to keep letting her know I ain't being affected by what she's saying, because she need me to comfort her.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's like, still doing all that, still trying to live on with life. I still got 3 other kids, one is in college right now, the other 2 still in high school. I'm still trying to keep their minds.
Everybody,
on their brother. So it's a hard challenge, and then you can't understand until you go through it. You know what I'm saying? When me and you was talking, you were talking about your brother.
Absolutely.
You know what it feels like. You know how it rips a family
It's hard,
apart.
man. Yeah.
So it's like no matter how much I talk to people about it, you know what I'm saying, and they try to understand, nobody can truly understand the actual internal feeling that you actually are going through. So, and the biggest challenge right now is money. Money, like the world we live in right now, we live in a 30-second world. You know what I'm saying? Like the average mindset, you know what I'm saying, the attention span is 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, your brain, if it ain't entertaining, your brain starts to travel somewhere else. So it's like, it's the same with social media. Like folks will be praising and raving, but after about a week, they've totally forgotten. Moving on to the next thing. It's just like the news. You know what I'm saying? So money is the issue. It's not even an issue. Let me not say that. Forgive me what I'm saying. Issue. It's not an issue. Money is the current thing that we need. We've already interviewed 2 attorneys. We already have them. They solicit them. They definitely want to work his case. So it's just retrials is anywhere between $15,000-$20,000. They're asking for half of 15, which is $7,500. We got like 1,600 right now. So people are still giving. It's kind of slowing up. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I have certain people that's coming to me wanting to put together certain projects and stuff like that.
I see what you're saying.
All the money
goes to that. The proceed goes to that. Yeah.
So it's we have, if you go on Facebook, it's called Free Yavari Brown. His name is spelled Y-V-A-R-I Brown. If you just go to Facebook and type in Free Yavari Brown, his Facebook page will come up. Please like it. The link to where you can donate is on there. There's 2 videos. There's 3 videos. 2 of the videos is me telling this story, and then the other video is right before they was about to sentence him. They changed the sentencing date. Y'all, when I tell y'all, anybody can look at what happened and be like, it's too much of a scandal. There's too many holes in the whole story. And nobody just really had everything or this was not a well planned out scheme for the actual county. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the things, but what they didn't expect was they thought he was some young little black boy who didn't have any kind of home training, who had no family. So when they kept seeing how many people kept showing up for court every day, it kind of made them nervous. And the primary thing was all the kids that was coming to showing up. I'm telling you, he had so many kids show up at his hearing, at his trial, like from high school. It just blew my mind that nobody looked at that. He's a rapist,
but everybody coming to support,
and mainly girls.
Wow.
Mainly girls.
Wow. Like I told you before, that speaks volumes to me. It seems to speak volumes, right?
So like I said, it's a lot. For the most part, he's in good spirits. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the things where it's a waiting process. When you actually go through this, you got to learn more about the law. When it comes to transcripts, people who have the woman or the man sitting there doing all the typing, once the trial is over, they have up to 4 months to get them transcripts out for a retrial. So right now it's a waiting game. We got to wait 4 months just for them to finish typing it up, and that's if the woman is what they call a real-time court reporter, which means everything she records is up to date, which means she's not like 2-3 months behind from other cases.
That's what you're saying.
From other cases, right? In this case, it's like, so she can request more time so it can go past 4 months of even because the attorneys, when we go ahead and retain them, they can't do anything without the transcript. They need to be able to read what happened in the trial. So it's a waiting game to get the transcripts, which we're only 1 month in. We still got 3 more months
to go.
And in the meantime, you know what I'm saying, the rest of that money we need, you know what I'm saying, to get this lawyer.
Is there you couldn't contact like the mayor's office or the governor's office or
all that, bro. Yo, when I say, man, I felt like I was about to have a panic attack, and I don't even know what that feels like. But it was. I've talked to people from the NAACP. I've talked to representatives of, you know, saying of the state, you know, saying of state of Georgia. Like I've talked to a court, not a court reporter, but a news reporter from WSB TV. You know what I'm saying? Even the brother that does what's the show? Real Man,
Man Up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know I've talked to a lot of people. It's that thing, like, and it's no disrespect to none of the people I talk to. I understand the way the world works. If it's just not intriguing or interesting to you, they're not going to touch it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people was like, yeah, I want to stay away from that. I don't really want to deal with that. And that's hurtful, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you have a platform where my son's story can be heard, you know, but I'm not going to be upset with you because you choose not to allow me to use that platform. I just got to move on. But, you know, that hurts, you know what I'm saying?
I can imagine.
Because it's like, especially, you know what I'm saying, if I'm reaching out to you, and I, you know, if you black, point blank, period, you black, you know what I'm saying, and I'm reaching out to you, and I'm a black man with a black son, you know what I'm saying, that's going through this, then in my mind, I'm thinking you should automatically understand. But when you have a business, you know what I'm saying, you want certain kind of things happening, certain things you want to stray away from. Yeah. That's just the way the world works. So I didn't take offense to, you know, half the people, you know what I'm saying, never get back with me, or, you know, get back with me saying, nah, we're not interested, you know. It's just the way the world is, you know. But that's one of the things where it's like, internally, I gotta eat that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I mean, honestly, without God, I'd have did something stupid about it.
Yeah. I believe when the goal is achieved of getting an attorney that can really eat this, they're gonna have to let them, because just based off some of the stuff that you spoke to me about offline. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make any sense. It just really don't make any sense, and like, it just sounds like they're trying to prove a point for some reason. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying?
The exact point was, you know, it's something off of TV when you got somebody running to be in office. So the DA's office at Henry County, Georgia, is a new DA's office. They just got in office January. So they won the election. Guy came in, fired all of the DAs that was there, and brought in his own team. My son's case was a state case to make an example, to let Henry County know this is y'all, we ain't playing, this is y'all DAs, I was that. So it was one of the things where they found a weak case that they what they considered an easy one. So they can go ahead and stake their claim, and then, you know, they felt so positive about the win, they contacted 11 Live News and was like, yo, put this out. And I didn't even know my son was on the news until somebody texted me the link and was like, your son was on the news. And then, you know, bold-faced lied. Like 11 Alive, bold-faced lied on my child, you know what I'm saying? And they got the information from Henry County. The news article starts off, 20-year-old man rapes 15-year-old girl in park.
That's already slanted. That's already slanted.
So you pushing the narrative already in your favor.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the sad part is let's look at it like, y'all didn't know me. Y'all didn't know that was my son. And you read that.
We read that. We're going to be like, oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so, like you said, they're already pushing the narrative. So I'm like, how is it that he's 20 years old when he was born December 4th, 98, which will make him 19 now? And he don't want to be 20 to the end of this year.
And there's alleged rape. And the girl wasn't 15, like her. They didn't make it sound like he's a 20-year-old rape.
They made it seem like it happened a week ago.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, that's how the whole argument makes sense happened a week ago. That she was 15 then, he was 17 then, she's 17 now, he's 19 now. You know what I'm saying? And it was all consensual. Even the funny part is it was in a park with like 6 or 7 of their homeboys and homegirls standing in view. So it's like,
so where the witnesses that said no, that wasn't, they were just doing their thing.
Bro, they wouldn't allow they didn't allow them to testify.
That's crazy.
See,
I said, like they all his public defender had them show up to testify, and never called them to the stand.
How do you do that?
And just so I won't seem like, you know what I'm saying, I'm just trying to be, you know, biased. In her defense, I believe she did not call them up because They were all brothers, and they all had criminal records. So I believe
they probably would have picked them apart.
Been discredited on the stand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I got you.
So she was nervous, and then, you know, the judge had a little. I mean, it was a couple times where he had to send the jury out to, in his words, calm the gallery down. You know, I don't know if the gallery is exactly, bruh. I feel like that was a racist behind, bruh. We were called the gallery the whole week we was there. Now, I'm in Henry County. I don't know, but just look up Henry County in Georgia.
Yeah, I don't go out.
Really but here's the thing, though, man. The rules was you can't laugh, you can't smile, you can't frown, don't look crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you cough the wrong way, we putting you out or sending you to jail. And he started that off the first day when both people was doing their opening arguments, because when a defense attorney came up, you know, my whole family was mean mugging the hell out of my man. You know, you're a black brother from Decatur. And you trying to send another black man, a little black teenager, to prison for the rest of his life. So, you know, of course, all the information you got is to make him look guilty. So, of course, you got a whole bunch of black folks grilling you. You know what I'm saying? And when my son's public defender got up and started speaking some truth, we all over there like church. Amen. You know what I'm saying? Shaking our heads. Nobody was saying that. We were just shaking our heads.
Yeah.
Man, as soon as they got done, he told the daggone jury to leave. And that was his racist time to let us niggas know, I'm not gonna have all of that in my courtroom.
Wow.
In a nutshell, that's pretty much how he was. I'm not gonna have all that, you know, in my gallery. I'm not having that in my gallery. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's crazy. One chick got up and testified, man, and she said something that totally threw everybody in the courtroom off. And it was so hard for folks not to laugh. You know what I'm saying? And
can you share what she said?
Oh my gosh. I can, but
go ahead, man.
Is it appropriate for
this is
I don't know.
This is
this ain't crosstalk.
Crosstalk exactly. So this house might be a little different.
This is cross house.
Okay.
We crossed it over to the house.
Yeah, we crossed over.
Long story short, a girl got up. There was a scene where how can I say this? She was testifying because she got a train ran on her. You know what I'm saying? And my son was a part of that train. So they were trying to use that old thing to
use
discredit
it.
him to make it
Wow.
So of course, naturally, that's actually what just killed this whole case. Not her testifying, but there was a video.
Oh, gotcha.
There was a minute video, and they played the video, and his public defender argued down to not allow the video to be played. She was like, he already did probation for that. Like, he's already cleared of that. She already testified that happened. Like, so what? Like, playing the video is just going to send him to prison. She said that, like, for the rest of his life.
Exactly.
And the judge said, I'm not sending him nowhere. Anything he did, he's going to be the one sending himself to prison.
Wow.
And then he said, I'll allow the video. So his case was pretty much a wrap after that. You know what I'm saying? But the chick was testifying, and the prosecutor asked, you know what I'm saying, well, so why didn't you, have sex with the other guy? And she said, just because I didn't want to. And he was like, that's it. And he kept pressing her for a more answer, and she burst out and said, because it was too small. I mean,
wow. Through the whole court.
The whole, it threw everybody off, yo.
Wow.
Was the dude there?
Nah, he wasn't there.
Oh, he would have killed him.
I mean, when she said it's too small, and she was like, and I don't get down with littleness like that. And like literally, I mean, bruh, it was hard. It was hard not to laugh. Like she threw. I mean, folks bust out laughing.
But they were pressuring her for something, so she just, this is...
And that didn't make or break anything. Like the answer he was trying to get out of her, he never got
it.
Like, but she was telling the truth. Like, that was her reason why she did not do nothing with the other guy. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I mean, he even shook his head, was like, no further question. Like, just get it.
You asked.
Yeah, exactly.
You asked.
You did.
Now, I can't stand bias. I can't stand... evil, racist, just backward thinking folk. I can't stand it. You dig what I'm saying? I can't stand it, bro. And I'm trying to, curve my mouth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I can't stand, though. Anyway, but remember about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, old boy that raped the girl by the dumpster. He goes to some college. Stanford in California. He raped the girl and got 6 months. He raped her. And the judge said he didn't want to ruin his collegiate life or some nonsense like that. Yeah. But he got 6 months for raping a female. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just beyond me. The little good old boy system in America, it drives me crazy. Yeah. It drives me crazy. And when you have punks like 45, I've never called his name. Yeah. You got punks like 45 in the seat or the highest office. It gives power to these sub punks running around here and feel like, well, our champion is in the White House. We have the right to do what we do. Run up.
Right.
Run up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because, a young man now has to sit behind bars when there's clear evidence that, it's not what y'all saying it is. So work the judicial system then. So, you screwed on the street. If you comply, they shoot you.
Right.
They take you to jail and go to court. They screw you.
Right.
So what it is?
What choices? What choices?
It's just new modern slavery.
That's what it is.
Modern slavery. How is it that in 2017, 18, a white cop can still pick off or kill a black person on camera in cold blood, and you still walk away free?
Or go in my house and shoot me and kill me?
That's crazy.
I'm in my crib now. I'm not on the street. I don't got no weed on me. I didn't break no code, no traffic violation. I'm in my crib. Yeah. And you come in and you murk me. Yeah. And then it took you 3-4 days to arrest her?
Yeah, see, that's why, it's one of them, it's
Precious building.
It's almost like it to me, man.
I'm taking
it back to the Mob Deep days, like that Shook Ones.
Shook Ones, man.
To me, it's like when Barry was he was 17 that year. Me and him got pulled over in Henry County, and I'm like, it was just right. It was right surely whatever year the dude got killed in front of his mom, his baby mom's in the car. Shortly after
in the car.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Shortly after, it was like maybe a week after that, we got pulled over by Henry County, and I said, now pay attention to every single thing I do. I said, I hate the fact that I have to teach you this, but you're a black man. You live in America, so there are certain procedures black folk gotta follow when you get pulled over by the cops. I said, pull out your phone and record every single thing I do. I said, when you by yourself, make sure you got your phone recorded on the window, everything. But I had to put my hands on the steering wheel, you know what I'm saying, so they'll see me, see my hands when you walk up, you know what I'm saying. I already got my wallet sitting right above on the dashboard, so you can see me take my hand from my steering wheel to the wallet, just to cross it over and hand it to me. You know what I'm saying. So at not one point in time, no hand is
right.
You know, and my son just shaking his head. And I'm like, son, like it's sad.
It's the life now.
But this is legit. You know how you want to do. And then I got a ticket and whatnot. We pulled off and we left and whatnot. And he was just like, so what if a situation comes to where the cop ain't like that, where you can sense that the minute he run up on you, it's kill or be killed. I said, son, y'all either gonna be visiting my grave or my grave and his. You know what I'm saying, or his. And I said, either way it go. I'm never going to put myself in a situation where that brother kept yelling that he was innocent, and because that white cop was scared, he shot him in front of his daughter and his mom's anyway. I said, I don't care. The minute a cop run up on me, and that's what I'm feeling, I'm shooting. I'm because cops got the mindset of shoot first, ask questions later. But we ain't supposed to. So my life is okay to be taken away. But because you got a uniform on, yours is more precious than mine. Like I got kids, like you got kids. I have family that's in law enforcement, so I don't hate cops.
It's the ones, man.
It's the ones. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand the ones that's not right. You said your introduction to Atlanta was somebody robbing you. My introduction to Atlanta was two redneck white cops from Latonia. Me coming home from high school and whatnot. My first ride. Talking back and forth about how they want to hang me from a tree and drag me on the back of their car and drag me around.
What?
Two Latonia cops. That was my introduction, you know what I'm saying?
To the good old South.
Yeah, in 11th grade. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And I've been harassed so many times by now. I mean, my moms know. Nobody knows. My moms know that. You know, like 2 years ago, I got to the point where I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. The wrong cop run up on me one more time, it's on and popping because I seen to catch the battles.
I sure do.
I seen to catch the battles. My last harassment was a black cop, and I've been harassed by more Atlanta black cops than I have any race in my entire life. You know what I'm saying? And dude, I'm picking up a customer at Kroger, and it's like 6 in the morning. But I'm a black man, you know what I'm saying, 6'2", dreads, big, you know what I'm saying, in a nice car. And dude in a paddy wagon. And was like, I'm pulling up, like literally waiting for the woman to come out of Kroger. He looked at me roll the windows like, what the you looking at? You got a problem? Did you feel like you see in jail tonight?
What?
My response was, officer, I'm here trying to pick up a customer. That's all I said. But you just don't understand how the rage, brother, the anger. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole response wanted to be, come over here and try it, bro. That wanted to be my whole response. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, cause I mean, the first time I was ever locked up, you know, it was a correction officer, thought he was big and bad, thought he was a cop. You know, and he ran up on a couple people in the cell block, and I told him straight up, bro, I hope I don't ever see you outside of this shit. Well, a month later, I seen that boy playing at the basketball court.
Really?
I beat the dog piss out of him. Like, no lie, you know what I'm saying? Because that was the only satisfaction, forgive me, Lord, that I ever got, you know what I'm saying, from law enforcement being able to handle my business. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're a real one. Huh?
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's just one. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you ran, and the thing about it is he was a punk, but he had that uniform on.
That made you feel that. Yeah.
Because you know you're not gonna run up. Well, you got some cats will run up on the CO. They don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? But you know, back then, you ain't running up on no CO back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
This is I definitely wanted you to share, and you know, I don't know how many people, you know, support this, but I know there's some that do, and I wanted to share the platform for your son's story. You know, it may reach somebody, you know what I mean, that knows somebody that say, hey, no, you know what, let me take this on, or let me contact, or let me donate something, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to, you know, to help out in that way, and definitely praying for him, and you know, praying that he gets out sooner,
a lot sooner,
and his life will be forever changed for the positive. You dig what I'm saying? That there's something that's gonna say, okay, I don't like what happened to me, but I see why it happened to me.
Yeah, he's dead. He actually just told his mom today, I know God got a plan for me. And he was like, I was disobedient. I was disobedient when God told me to, you know, not to do certain things. And that's the reason why I'm here. So, I mean, that makes me feel good because he's maturing more than him. Like, his first year and a half, man, he was, you know, he doing what he got to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? And then his name was kind of known in the jail because he's a small dude, you know what I'm saying? But he believed in walking up to somebody's step size and challenging them. So, you know, them small dudes got all that.
You gonna chill,
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's just like, you know, but this is, he's like, it's 1,000,001 steps in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, and I can't come at everybody like that. And he's not a fighter. That ain't what he would rather, you know, do. But, you know, it kind of is what it is, but he's just like, you know, I know God got a plan for me. He's like, I know this is not my hand. So that kind of keeps me encouraged because, you know, mentally, it's that's a challenge.
It's a drain, man.
Yeah, because I don't even, like my son 19, I have no idea. I'm at the point now where I can no longer teach him how to survive in an element I've never been in.
You
know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't even know.
To tell him, yo, just do this, or, you know.
I don't even know that. So I'm legit getting, my brother-in-law's brother just came home with money ago from doing 20 years. I chopped it up with him for 2 hours last week. He's been in every single prison in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So he was telling me, you know, the good ones, the bad ones, what he needs to do. So I'm getting my advice from somebody who just left that system.
To give him.
Because I don't have it. I don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And that's
real. Yeah. That's real. Yo, so give them the Facebook again so they can go to.
It's Free Yavari Brown. That's his name is YVARI and Brown. Like, we need money. if you know somebody who does these type of pro bono cases, please reach out to me. It's gonna be you can rewind that John to get that repeat again.
Let's do it like
just
that.
Just take your finger and push it back a couple of seconds if you need to get that.
No doubt.
Let me add a little bit to that too.
Sure.
Or you can hit us up at Crosstalk.
Absolutely.
Crosstalk Podcast at Gmail. Crosstalk with a K. Mm-hmm. Also, since you invited us as Crosstalk, I'll let them know that our last episode of Crosstalk, we actually dedicated that to this whole thing. So, yeah, to Barry. So the details that he kind of shaved off this one for the sake of the time of the show, you know, that one has the full details. You know, so if you want to go back and listen to that one at Crosstalk. .buzzsprout.com. You can do it that way, or we're on Crosstalk on iTunes and TuneIn. Please,
y'all go support that. Listen to Crosstalk. Support my brothers.
Yes,
it's a great show. It's a great show. Two great guys. Two men of God. You know what I'm saying? I feel cool when I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm connected out here in these streets.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It's my people's, man. And please support the website. Go look at the story and see where you can help. Everybody can help in some way, shape, or form, man. Yeah. So that's the time we got for tonight, man. You were in the house with Hud's House Podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'll holler at y'all later. Peace and love.
Peace.
Yeah.
Hud's House. You're listening to the Hud's House Podcast with E-Hud on the Thinking Out Loud Network.